In the winter of 1899, Nome, Alaska was one of the most dangerous places in America. Thousands of men poured into a frozen wilderness chasing gold. They slept in tents, drank in overcrowded saloons, and trusted strangers they had known for only hours. Most believed the cold was the greatest threat. They were wrong. In January, an old prospector named Amos Calder discovered a body near Anvil Creek. The man had struck gold weeks earlier. There were no animal tracks, no signs of an accident, just silence. Among the new arrivals that season was Elias Thorne, 34 years old, quiet, thin, always carrying a short-handled axe. Thorne listened more than he spoke. He watched who struck it rich, who bragged, who carried heavy gold pokes back to camp. In late February, one of those men was Tom Riley, a prospector who couldn't stop talking about his new claim. Thorne followed him out of the saloon. Riley was never seen alive again. Within days, Thorne quietly sold small amounts of gold around Nome. No one asked questions. Gold camps were full of missing men. Then, in March, another prospector began asking questions. Silas Crow. He talked too much. And soon, he fell violently ill and died overnight. Poison, they said. Bad food. Another unlucky soul in a hard land. 2 men gone. 2 claims abandoned. At the time, no one called it murder. They would soon. By the time spring approached Nome, some had begun to notice a pattern. Each man had struck gold. Each had last been seen with the same quiet prospector, and the next disappearance wouldn't look like an accident at all. By April of 1899, Nome was growing fast. Beach claims paid well. Gold moved constantly through the camp. So did rumors. When a payroll shipment vanished along the coastal trail, panic spread. 3 men were found dead, their bodies torn apart, blamed on a bear attack. But the gold was gone, and Elias Thorne suddenly had more to sell. Then a saloon owner named Caleb Dunn began keeping notes. Names, dates, gold sales. He noticed who Thorne had been seen with. Dunn planned to contact the authorities. He never got the chance. One night, Dunn disappeared near the Snake River. His ledger vanished with him. This time, the camp noticed. Whispers turned into certainty, and a message was finally sent south. In early May, U.S. Marshal Harlan Reed arrived in Nome. He listened, he followed the gold, and he watched Elias Thorne. When Reed questioned him, Thorne didn't argue. That night, he ran. By dawn, Thorne's tracks led north into the hills. The hunter had become the hunted, and the law was close behind. The posse followed Thorne's trail through frozen valleys and abandoned mine shafts. They found buried gold, blood-stained clothing, and finally, Thorne himself, cornered in a collapsed shaft near Dexter Creek. A brief gunfight ended with Thorne wounded and captured. Back in Nome, the evidence was laid out. Stolen gold, personal belongings, and a notebook. A list. Names, dates, amounts. 4 murders. The trial lasted less than a day. Thorne did not deny what he had done. He offered no apology. The sentence was death. At dawn, a scaffold stood near the dock. The crowd watched in silence as justice was carried out. Elias Thorne was buried in an unmarked grave at the edge of town. The case was closed. But Nome moved on. New men arrived. New claims were staked. And the wilderness remained. Because gold still changes people, and the North never forgets.